So let's say, for example, let's say you wanted to identify the center and radius for x squared plus y squared plus 6x minus 4y equals negative 12. Let's say plus 12 equals 0. Okay, so that's the general form of a circle, which means we have to convert it to a standard form before we can find anything. Okay, so the first thing you have to do is put the x's next to the x's and the y's next to the y's. And any constants go on the other side. So x terms together, y terms together, and constants on the other side. Okay, so that means we have x squared plus 6x. All we did was just shuffle it around a little bit. Plus y squared minus 4y. Instead of plus 12, we subtract 12 from both sides, so it's equal to negative 12. Okay, so we have our x terms together, we have our y terms together, and anything without an x or a y, just ship to the other side. Okay, so our second step is we're going to find completing the square. We're going to convert those to perfect square trinomials. So complete the square for x and y. Okay, so if we have x squared plus 6x, clean that up a little bit. There we go. Plus 6x plus y squared minus 4y equals negative 12. Draw a little imaginary line down the middle there, because we're going to complete the square here, and we're going to complete the square here. Okay, so remember, for this, your a is equal to 1, your b is equal to 6, and for this one, your a is equal to 1, and your b is equal to negative 4. Let me move this over a little to give us a little more room. Equals negative 12. Okay, so remember, you're completing the square. I'll put that over here. Equals b divided by 2a squared. Okay, so you have b divided by 2a squared, which means you have 6 divided by 2 times 1 squared, which is 3 squared. Remember, you want to remember that value, which gives us 9. Okay, so if you do b divided by 2a squared for the y's, b divided by 2a squared, we'll clean up that 2, is just equal to negative 4 divided by 2 times 1 squared, which is just negative 4 divided by 2, which is negative 2 squared. You want to remember that value. Negative 2 squared is positive 4. Okay, so what you want to do, once you find you're completing the square, you want to add these to both sides of the equal sign. Okay, so what that's going to give us is x squared plus 6x plus 9. Remember, that's the value you just added. And let me kind of block that off a little bit. Plus y squared minus 4y plus 4. Remember, that's the value you added. Equals negative 12. So now we have to add plus 9 and plus 4 to that side also. Because remember, anything you do to the left, you have to do the same thing to the right. Okay. So you have, I guess you can say this is your third step. You have your perfect square here. Remember that value that you were supposed to remember. That means this just becomes x plus 3 squared. And this, you're supposed to remember that value. This just becomes y minus 2 squared. Equals negative 12 plus 9 is negative 3 plus 4 is 2. Oh, 1. Sorry about that. Nope. Yep, 1. Long day already. Okay, so that gives us x plus 3 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 1 squared. So all we have to do is make that plus a minus, and it'll be in the form that we need. So x minus negative 3 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals our 1 squared, where we have our h, we have our k, and we have our r. Okay, so that means our center, which is your HK, is negative 3, 2. And your radius is equal to 1. All right. So any questions on that one? Okay. Leave that up for a few more seconds. Okay, so let's say for this example, let's say if you just want to find the equation. Forgot to unfreeze it. Thank you. So find the equation of a circle in standard form when, let's say for A, the center is 5, 3, and the radius is equal to 2. Okay. So they give us the center and the radius, and we have to find the equation now, instead of the other way around. And for B, let's say center is at the origin, and the diameter is equal to 8 square root of 3. Okay, so remember for both, we want x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals the radius squared. Okay, so for A, if our center is 5, 3, then that means this is our h, and this is our k. And we know that our radius is equal to 2. So all we have to do is just plug in our h and k and r, and we have our formula. So we have x minus 5 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 2 squared, which just becomes x minus 5 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 4. Let's clean up that 2 a little bit. So for B, it's just a little different wording, but it looks worse than it is. So for B, center at the origin is just another way to say 0, 0. So when you see that, it's just 0, 0. And remember that the radius is equal to the diameter divided by 2. So the radius is half the diameter. So if they give you a diameter, just divide it by 2 and you now have your radius. So that means the radius is equal to 8 square root of 3 divided by 2, which is 4 square root of 3. Okay. So our center, we have our center. Remember, that's our h and our k. And this is our r. Okay. So we just plug it in. So x minus h is x minus 0 squared plus y minus k is y minus 0 squared equals 4 square root of 3 squared. Okay, so I'll just work that out on the side. So 4 square root of 3 squared, remember that's just 4 squared times square root of 3 squared, which is 16 times 3, which is 48. Okay, so x minus 0 is just x squared. Y minus 0 is y squared is equal to, I guess you can call it 48 instead of the 4 square root of 3 squared. Okay, and that would be your formula for that one. All right, any questions on that one? All right, so I'll leave on that one.